Alright, hi everybody, it's Dave Birchtold again. I want to show you a couple licks I do in my full version of I Know You Writer. And the first one is a Manse Lipscomb Jorma Kaukonen lick that I learned off Hot Tuna's first CD. Jorma uses this in at least 3 or 4 songs on that first Hot Tuna album. I highly recommend it. If you like this kind of music, it's just a great album. Let's just, I'll play this little lick up to speed, and then I'll break it down for you, and then I'll show you how it's used in the song. So first it goes like, here's the lick. Okay, that's the lick up to speed. Very cool. Now let's break it down. So it starts off in this long A position. You don't hit the low E string. Muffle the bass, and always, if you can, hit more than one string on that bass note, because it gives you that nice, thick, low rumble. One note sounds like this, open, muffled, 2 notes. Just sounds a little better for this kind of playing. So, you start off with a downstroke, and then this high A. And then it pull off from the G note, and then an open E. So the first note is, and you notice you're always it's dead thumb on the A, so that's always going. If I miss it, I shouldn't have. So, and you can hit both strings when you get it open. Double strings never sound bad on a blues tune, unless you're hitting the wrong note. Anyway, so this first part is okay, and the next part is just a slide up, and at the same time you're hitting the bass note. Slide up first fret, B and G strings, and you're hitting the A note at the same time. So those two things together sound like this. Oops, slide in an open A note. I mean a fretted A note, I'm sorry. So those two things together, again. We'll get it right here, hang on. Okay, that's half the lick. You already got half of it. You can just put those together. So that gives you an idea of how those all licks go together, and you keep the dead thumb going on the A. And then to finish it up, all you do is hammer on the low E to a G and hit the A note on the offbeat. So that's the beginning of the second half. And you notice again, I'm using 2 fingers, and almost everything I do on a blues tune almost is double stops, or hitting two strings at the same time. I think that's called a double stop. Little brother can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so now and then after that, you just do this little lick here. Let me put it all together real quick. Okay, so the last part is so it's a high A, pull it off to the G, open that up to the F sharp, back to the A, and back to the 7th. Okay, so those last 2 pieces together sound like this. keeping that G note on there all the time. It's just, and then I'm hitting the G string open, or G string fretted on the A, or the B string fretted on the C sharp, or both. Or double stop all of it. See, the double stops almost always sound good in blues unless you've got a really wrong note in there. So the whole thing together goes like this. There you go, that's the super lick in A. Now let me show you a variation that I learned long after I picked up this lick off of an album. Yes, an album, vinyl. Picking up the needle, listen to it over and over again. That's how I learned this song. But in Manse Lipscomb does it a little bit differently. It's actually smoother and possibly easier if you have your pinky developed at all. And what Mance does is this. Instead of any open strings, he uses the pinky up here. So instead of that open E note, he keeps the bar on here and uses the pinky on the B string. Now you notice I'm not coming down just on the B string, I'm fretting both of those strings. And you'll see why when I show you how this works. So let me play it more or less up to speed, and then I'll slow it down and break it down. So this is the way Mance does it. So it's actually a little smoother and a little easier to play if you've developed your pinky, and it's also a great exercise to get some strength into your pinky because you're going to use it a lot on this lick. Okay, down to about 2 minutes. So let me just show you real quick what he's doing, what Mance does here, and then I'll work this lick into Know Your Rider. So what Mance is doing is just show you the notes. Got that 7th note ready, so it's. Now he's fretting that B string there to an E note, but he's actually got both of them fretted. Oh, and actually, I'm sorry, I'm fretting the G note with it. So it's slap it down right on the G and the B string, so you don't have to move it. And on the G note, I'm sorry, on that C note, push it a little. So you get a tiny bit of bend. So it sounds like this. And you get that B note afterwards, or I'm sorry, C sharp. So it sounds like this. And I don't play it that way very often. I wish I'd developed it that way, but now I got to work it up and get to it. So anyway, here's how it sounds in Know Your Rider. There you go. It's the super lick, Manse Lipscomb, Jorma Kaukonen super lick in A. Take care. We'll see you around. Stop.